Well, it's not just about making monsters. The methods shown here can be used to create amputees for cutscenes or aesthetic NPCs at base, for example, or to make artificial lighting of any kind, making any NPC capable of only taking damage from player. There's many uses for these things in a more traditional project for this game. When it comes to monsters, there are several different views on how they should work. I completely understand people who want to be chased by monsters and try to get away from them. Or maybe they want to fight the monsters. After all, the player has a gun, right? So they can shoot the monsters down. Not to mention the many types of monsters that one imagines in these places. But my main goal was the overall atmosphere. I wanted to make the place feel kinda safe, but also not really fit for long-term survival. That way the player isn't immediately in any serious danger, but they can't live in there, or at least they shouldn't want to. The monsters that you encounter are more like ghosts or shadows. They are in there, but they don't really help you or hinder you all that much. All just a part of this overall image of a different reality that isn't fit for a human being. Of course, there are also some issues with the technical execution of some of the more ambitious ideas. Lots of testing has been done. The AI cannot ever figure out how to navigate in such tight spaces. It would require a serious overhaul, and that's something I'm not willing to do, especially if a chase scene isn't even something I want to have in the mission. Still, there are 4 different types of NPCs that the player can encounter, and each one works completely differently from the others. They are equally distributed in the mission, 2 types being in the older region and 2 mostly in the new one. Each type is also created by different methods and has its own behavior and set of rules to follow. That way, everyone who is interested in making their own content for their projects has multiple different examples and can choose whichever suits them the best. So let's say I'm not very confident in sound design, but I'm pretty good at 3D modeling. In that case, I can look at the Winter Lantern, how it works, where are the scripts that control its behavior, what I could take from the example. If I'm not very good at models, but I'm fine with image editing and mission design tricks, I can look at the Smiler NPC to see how it works, what could be improved or repurposed for a different mission. The main goal for these monsters was to make the mission itself feel more alive and interesting to explore, and to display different methods of making new content for other creators, which includes a couple tricks and some misdirection through scripting. Not every monster has to have its own 3D model with fully rigged skeleton, its own set of animations and a complex system of hitboxes and special behaviors. This mission, being on a very tight budget of $0 and almost no manpower, explores these options and looks for ways to make a scenario more interesting without having to commit to using complex tools and crafting too many new assets.